There's that saying that teamwork makes the dream work. It's 100% true. Getting a dream team is not easy, but it's being able to look at the people that you're working with and see the potential in each and every single one of them, working with them to extract that potential from them, and vice versa, having them hopefully looking at you and seeing how they can work to extract the best out of you. And that's an amazing journey to go on with people. Formula One is not about one individual. It's a team sport, so there's nearly 2,000 people in my team to build the engine, build the car. The whole car is all built in-house. There's only a few components that are outsourced. It's basically a long chain of many links. Each and every individual is key to making sure that continues to turn the most efficient and the fastest way. Peter Bonington is my engineer. He's been my lead engineer for nearly 10 years. And his role, he's the leader, he's at the head of the car. So we have all our mechanics who build and put this car together, and they're faultless. But they are given instructions from individuals ahead, such as Bono, in terms of setup, how we set the car up, whether the ride heights, the fuel loads, all these different things. Bono is instructing them through email. My number one mechanic, Nath, is on the receiving end of those emails, and he instructs all the mechanics to make those changes. So we're in constant communication, all of us, in terms of getting the car to improve in its performance. My job is to go out there and put the car on the limit and highlight to them the areas of weakness. Turn one. The car doesn't really go that much different, that much wider. For example, I can go out and say if I mid-corner with 20 degrees of steering angle, if you improve this section, I could get the car turned better and get on power earlier. Or I'm asking for 30% power, but it's giving me 50% power. If you could fix that, then I could be smoother and not have wheel spin. I love this job. And we work in tandem. It's like every single individual needs to be rowing in the same direction with the same strength. What you can do to have a healthy team is making sure you're aware of who your team is, communicating with everyone, looking objectively at everyone and seeing that they've all got potential. How can you help? How can you make sure they're in the position where they're able to thrive? If everyone's thriving in their position, then everyone is rowing in the same direction with the same force, and you get to your destination faster and more efficiently than you would do otherwise. Finding the right people is definitely not easy, and there's times where I've had the wrong people around, and it's about being open-minded, trying not to be stubborn, looking for the green flags and the red flags, and taking note of them and not ignoring them. A working relationship, I generally should be relatively easy. If it's really difficult and it continues to be really difficult, then you know that you're just swimming against the current, and you probably need to make a change. And if either of you are not willing to make changes to make that work, then you should probably go in your separate ways. And it's finding people that you have finding what you have in common with those people. If you don't have anything in common, then I guess it's hard to get along, right? So personal relationships, I think, are also key to success. So my relationship with Bono, having a real sit down and understanding what a bit of our backgrounds, our journey, our goals. There's days where I need to lift him up, and there's days where I need him to lift me up. There's days that I don't know what to change with the car in order to make it better, and he's there for me. And there's days it's the other way around. There's days that in the race, I don't know if I can do it for you. I don't know if I can get this win, Bono. You got this, So that team, that communication, that little lift that you're able to give through those those open communications can make a big difference. Trust is something that's built over time, and I think there are some people that find it easy to trust people, and there's others that find it hard to trust people. I personally have always found it hard to trust people. Letting go of that tight grip that I've had and trusting in those around me, that they have the best intentions, can be difficult. Interesting story, the first day with my new team, my brakes failed. And I was braking for the corner and the car wouldn't stop and I crashed into the wall. It was very painful. And luckily I was okay, just a bit bruised on my knees. And that was for the team, they're like, oh my God, the first day we have this guy, he's already lost confidence in us. Another example is about pit stops. And when you come in, it's quite nerve-wracking because we come in, there's a speed limit of 80 kilometers an hour, and I have to brake and slow down and park right in front of them. That pit stop, they have to take all 4 tires off and put 4 new tires on in sub 2 seconds. So it's up and down and then we're going again. And if it's 2.5 seconds or 3 seconds, you lose that time on track, and that could be the difference between first or last. And positioning is everything. If I go too long, then they have to move, and that loses time. So I have to stop right on the spot. But it's very easy. If I mess the braking up, I could knock them all out like bowling pins, which I've not done up until now. So trust is very important. So through practice, they've learned to trust me with that, and they get closer and closer and more on edge. And that's what being a team is, right? Being able to lean on the people that are around you only enables you to be better. I think confidence and trust is built over time naturally, and that comes through having conversations, that comes with just having open dialogue and having the belief in the people that you're working with. My experience in F1 has taught me that being able to lean on people and rely on people and trust in people to be the best they can be and do their job to the best of their ability ultimately ended out with me having success. I've always been fairly decent at communicating what I'm feeling in the car, but being a team player and being the best teammate possible has been a journey, understanding what those around me need, knowing that there are days where we are struggling and there's days where we fail, and we all feel the pain. So I always say we win and we lose together, because when we win, it's because everyone did their job, and when we lose, even if it's one individual's, there's never one person that's to blame. It's all of us, right? I think just over time, just learning through that communication and how I interact, how I engage, how much time I show, how I show up. And it can be the smallest thing. If you're late, if you're 5 or 10 minutes late, half an hour late, and everyone's on time and everyone's waiting for you, or being early. These small things show how engaged you are, how much you mean business. So I try and show up, and I try and adjust it each year. I ask at the end of the year, look, I would love your comments back. If you got anything critical, anything you think that I can do to improve, or how I can help you be better, let me know. And I keep pushing for those things. The time that I noticed the effect that I was having on my crew and whether I bring good or positive or bad energy into the garage, I noticed it having a ripple effect in terms of our performance, or how engaging or how motivated people were around me. I got the feedback that this could be better, this has not been encouraging. And rather than taking it as a negative and getting down, I'm like, damn, I've got to do better. These guys deserve better. So I'm going to make sure I am there. And it's not about being perfect, but it's about working at those things. So One thing, for example, what I do today is I try to, as soon as I get there the weekend, I try to go in the garage, or even Sunday morning, just walk into the garage. And if I don't physically fist bump everyone, I'm trying to just make sure I acknowledge them, let them know that, we're here to win today. Because we're all connected, we're all working towards the same goal. Messages for people that I think that are leading, you have to be really conscious of your energy, what you're saying, the words you use. You have to be the one that's the things you say have to be motivating. You have to be uplifting and empowering. You want to empower every individual to be the best they can be. Because if they're the best they can be and you see their power, they're encouraging the person next to them, and it filters down. But I think you also need to be approachable. It's creating time and an open, an easy environment for people to confront you with things, those struggles, rather than just struggling on their own. But if you create a little bit of space here, I can be better over here. And it's staying tuned to those sorts of things. There's been many times that I haven't been great at communicating things. I've dealt with it on my own, and it's not had positive outcomes, or I've just not said anything, and then the next event we've lost as a team. And if only I had mentioned it the race before the race, it would have been something that we would have been able to have covered. So I think it's all about leaving no stone unturned, and that means saying what you need to say. So when I go into my races today, I've said everything I need to say to Bono. I've said everything I need to say to Shove. And if I've got any problems with a mechanic, of even just where this mechanics is standing, if he's in my view when I'm in my garage and he's distracting me, I'll just let him know, like, you're able to just move and don't feel bad about saying something. Staying silent is obviously the easiest thing, but that's not how I'm personally built. I'm constantly asking questions, even if it's being a pain. I'm asking questions, even if they said, no, we've run the simulations 1,000 times, this is the result. I'm like, yeah, but what if? And vice versa. They're asking lots and lots of questions and relying on me. Communication is really key. So if you've got any problems, don't hold it in and expect people to know what your problem is. Being a team player, being a great teammate is having those conversations, whether it's good or bad, and getting it out. Put it all on the table. And this is what I got. This is what we need to deal with so we can be better. When you have a bad moment with your teammates, which is bound to happen because it's never always going to be perfect and smooth and happy, right? You are constantly all facing difficulties in your challenge to being as good as you can be in your role. And when one person lets the team down, it can be frustrating. And so, again, going back to being very important, I think, from the leader's point of view, to creating an atmosphere where we're all one and we're all responsible for everyone doing the best job. And I think, as I said, we win and lose together, because when you succeed, you all succeed together. It's not down to one person. And being able to communicate your frustrations is and finding solutions in how to navigate forwards, because that's the only way. It's forwards, not backwards. You want to go forwards. So how do we go about doing that? And it's about I do that often with meetings. We get on the board, or we write down notes of, these are the key things, these are the issues, these are the pros and cons, these are the targets, and are we all in? If we're all in, let's work towards it. You're always going to have those ups and downs, and it's the journey that actually really counts. So when we get to the end of the year together, it's great once the season's done, because hopefully we've achieved what we've come to achieve. But either way, through the journey, we've learned so much about ourselves and also about each other.